very good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on NTA Channel 5 News at 1. I am Miriam Emekamadi. Doctors in hospitals of the Federal Capital Territory have embarked on an indefinite strike action following the administration's failure to meet their demand. President Association of Resident Doctors FCT, Ronald Aibovo, stated this in a press briefing held at Asokoro District Hospital, Abuja. Hakimat Aliu reports.
The strike by resident doctors, which has commenced, is arising from its first quarter general meeting, where a 14-day ultimatum was issued to the Federal Capital Territory Administration Management to resolve outstanding issues with the union.
The 14-day ultimatum lapsed on Friday, 6th March 2020, and a 7-day extension was granted by the Congress of our association at an emergency general meeting, which held on the same day, 6th March 2020. And in addition to the earlier resolution, the payment of our February 2020 salary was included.
The strike, they say, is to press home their demands, which include payment of balance keeping arrears, improvement on security in the hospitals, amongst others.
Our members were thrown into serious financial distress following the non-payment of our salaries as at when due, and we waited patiently after the end of year 2019 and New Year 2020 celebration till the 3rd week of February, only for us to receive a paltry sum of money as January salary.
The association comprises of doctors practicing in the 14 districts and general hospitals, Department of Public Health and Primary Health Care Board in the Federal Capital Territory. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
The Federal Capital Territory Area Council Staff Pension Board has commenced biometric verification of 1,400 pensioners. The exercise is aimed at getting accurate database of pensioners into the scheme. Shuaibu Onozo Yakubu tells us more.
The biometric verification exercise is in line with the FCT Minister's directive to get accurate database of pensioners on the area council payroll. The exercise, which is being done simultaneously across the 6 area councils in the territory, requires physical presence of all pensioners for verification. Director FCT Area Council Staff Pension Board, Nancy Inden, says the verification will ensure that only genuine pensioners will be verified, captured, and subsequently paid.
The year's National Pension Commission has mandated us through the regulation to ensure that we have biometric verification at least once in a year to ensure that pensioners who have been collecting their pensions under the defined benefit scheme are recorded, are no more alive or removed from the payroll. This is to ensure sanity of purpose and ensure that no ghost pensioner receives pension under the Area Council Staff Pension Board.
At the AMAC Secretariat, the exercise is being conducted in an orderly atmosphere where pensioners are physically captured.
Formally, at times we will spend some months without getting the pension before the...
Very nice. It's very good, so that they will know the number of the people that are working.
Meanwhile, pensioners have been of this exercise to enable them benefit from their legitimate entitlement. Shuaibu Onozo Yakubu, NTA News.
As residents to them to reconsider and embrace dialogue as a strike affects citizens negatively. Mariam Georgetobo has the details.
At the Wuse District Hospital, doctors were nowhere to be seen as patients resigned to fate, while some patiently waited for nurses on duty to attend to them.
I was highly disappointed. I even met some people that are crying inside. The
government should help us and maybe to pay them and to settle them so that we can be able to see the doctor, because most of the people are inside with seriously pain.
I know it is based on finance.
Some are of the view that with compromise on the side of both parties, the situation will be nipped in the bud. They believe if the strike action continues, it may be dangerous, especially at a time when all medical practitioners are expected to be at alert because of the current cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. Mariam George Jitubo, NTA News.
Ahead of series of activities to be hosted in the nation's capital. The Nigerian Diaspora Commission is soliciting the involvement of the FCT administration towards ensuring a hitch-free and beneficial event. To the FCT Minister, Shuaibu Onozo Yakubu.
The line-up event scheduled to hold within the year in the nation's capital city by the Nigerian Diaspora Commission include
As a matter of fact, we have earmarked a sizable area where we are now in the process of determining who would be there. And it's basically supposed to be a medical center of excellence. Within the one piece of land there.
FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello commended the CEO of the Commission for her role on diaspora matters and promised to support the Commission in all its activities. NTA News.
FCT Minister of State Ramatu Tijani Aliu says no fewer than 20,000 residents of the territory benefited from the conditional cash transfer in 2019 under the Social Investment Program of the federal government.
It leads to somebody doing something that person does not even want to do.
Minister of State FCT Ramatu Tijani Aliu, who was represented by Special Assistant on Technical Matters, noted that the components of the Social Investment Program were carefully planned to encapsulate the administration's
upon the receiver's action.
The FCT State Cash Transfer Unit, while given the program has covered 3 area councils of Abaji, Kuje, Ifani, Izumba, and News.
The Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, is set to unveil new guidelines for the television white space TVWS in Nigeria. Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Issa Ali Pantami, at a consultative forum with key stakeholders. Our Khalid Ibrahim completes the story.
Research was since conducted a long time ago, and it was
NCC has been evolving initiatives not only aimed at increasing broadband penetration, but also promoting connectivity to the rural areas. This forum therefore brings together experts with Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, NCC and NBC white space.
Especially as well as with the volume that is needed to facilitate access, to high-speed internet.
I think this is key to the economy.
Kaduna State government attests to the benefit of this technology and says it is open for collaborations.
We have made a lot of efforts in service delivery for healthcare and education, which a lot of these inputs have been technology.
To bridge the digital divide in the country. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to launch the final draft framework. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. When we return, NTA Channel 5 News continues. Stay with us.
Nation of News is getting the unusual in and around the FCT. Fresh and factual, from education, transportation, politics, sports, judiciary, security to the grassroots. You can go on and on. You will find us there.
I'm sure always on ground 24/7 to keep you abreast with the latest happenings. Whenever the news breaks in the FCT, you will find our team of reporters.
Residents
the construction of the Lot 1B of the Abuja Light Rail Transport System.
The risk need for security agencies.
With our on-air personalities, we bring to you delightful presentations.
On the news tonight.
FCT Police Command, telecommunication giant empowers customers.
NTA Channel 5 Abuja News, always authentic, with no room for fake news. We are
Thanks for being there. After 8 years, about 133 subscribers of the Nigerian Workers' Housing Scheme in the Federal Capital Territory are yet to have a roof over their heads, following the inability of the Good Homes developers to complete the project. As Sabet and Williams report that the subscribers are mostly civil servants who are now seeking the intervention of the Federal Capital Territory Authority.
The chairman of the concerned subscribers, Emeka Anuna, says in 2012, the housing project was widely publicized as a nationwide workers' housing scheme with plans to develop 10,000 units of various types of houses in Apo Tafi district, Apo Mechanic Village, Abuja. He says the intention...
To the executors of this project, we have paid since... Am I lying? No! In total, and still counting, we have paid Good Homes Development Company the sum of 348,965,060 kobo.
They further appealed to the FCT minister to come to their aid as the land was given to them by the Federal Capital Territory Administration.
These projects are strapped with it the hard-earned savings of poor Nigerian civil servants and their own ownership aspirations. Some of us are now dead, some retired, and others are afflicted with various health challenges.
The group therefore called on the government, NLC and TUC to stop the developer from further sale of the land meant for Nigerian workers.
The Abuja Municipal Area Council Administration has given a 30-day ultimatum to illegal shop owners located at Timbershed Market in Lube to vacate the area or face demolition. Vice Chairman Amak Lawrence Onuchukwu gave the warning to traders at two of such markets in Lube. Habiba Oladipo has the details.
The Timbershed Market, situated in Lube, is known for the sales of building materials. However, its operations without proper authorization has forced the Abuja Municipal Area Council Administration to wield the big stick. The traders have been accused of encroaching on critical infrastructure.
Some of their brothers any longer, because we have provided a place for you to go and do your
inspection team also to move into the market designed for their business at Sabo Lube.
We are just giving them 30 days to vacate this place. After 30 days, as a government, will come upon them. We can no longer continue to accept you doing business in illegal places.
We don't have paper. So pushing me
15th of April to move to Sabo Lube Market or have their properties destroyed
by secondary school students in rural communities of the FCT is
like substance when consumed sometimes makes its users lose their senses. Now, Zakami has found its way into junior and senior secondary schools in Kwali, with deaths already being recorded.
For now,
weeks ago, staff and students of Government Secondary School Kwali resumed like every normal school day until a student, Miracle Dana, alleged premises worried and confused about what might have gone wrong.
The abuse of Zakami amongst these young school children is a challenge that seems to be overwhelming on the authorities of the school. For now, Miracle Dana is the major casualty
of the abusers. The question now bordering on the minds of the people is whose responsibility it is to disabuse the minds of this cross-section of Nigerians from drug abuse, which is becoming increasingly problematic.
My visit to Kwali over the menace of Zakami substance abuse seemed to have been met with brick walls, from the parents of the deceased Miracle Dana to as far as the principal of Government Secondary School, Kwali. Efforts to get those concerned over the challenge proved abortive, as the principal categorically told me that he will not speak over the issue. From Kwali, Iliasu Onnotu Yakubu, NTA News.
The area commander of Gwagwalada Assistant Commissioner of Police, Sunday Okoebo, is appealing to the National Orientation Agency to come to the aid of communities in Kwali to sensitize them on the dangers of substance abuse. ACP Okoebo was speaking when he featured on NTA Channel 5 weekly program called The Police, a Security Check.
The communities in Kwali consumes zakami, an oil known for making its consumers high or lose their senses. ACP Sunday Okwebo said there is need for proper sensitization on the dangers to human health.
We are starting with the schools first. That's from the police angle. We are concentrating on the schools. We intend going from school to school, trying to ensure that the students are aware of the ill effects of drug abuse. Not just
zakami.
Yeah, this is just one of the instances of drug abuse we know of. There could be other drugs being abused. Generally, we intend to talk about drug abuse.
He said the fact that the substance is consumed by school children who take it as reading aid does not justify the consumption as legal, as it remains harmful not only to their health but future.
It's a drug usually given to poultry when they show signs of ill health, like your normal hen, and that once it's given to such fowls, the sickness vanishes. So I'm surprised that somebody will now decide to start taking zakami.
The area commander also spoke on the effort the police in the area is putting to fight crime and criminality. Safia Noma Uchi, NTA News.
Away from security, as a result of more confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the country, the need to curtail further spread of the disease, the National Youth Service Corps has announced the suspension of the ongoing orientation course for 2020 Batch A, Stream 1 Corps members. A statement to this effect states that the Corps posted to commence their primary assignments forthwith and will be invited back to the orientation camps when the situation improves. The NYSC management also stated that no Corps member or its official has contracted the virus. Sports now. The coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic has continued to cause postponement of major sporting events around the world as UEFA changed the dates of UEFA Champions League and UEFA Europa League title matches. Details of these and more on Sports Brief with Abdullahi Ajia.
The COVID-19 is eating more into the sporting world with more postponements in the calendar of sporting activities. A major talking point from Tuesday meeting of UEFA 55 members changed the UEFA Champions League final of the current season from May 30, 2020 to June 27, 2020, while the new planned date for the UEFA Europa League is now June 24, 2020, as against the initial date of May 27, 2020. Just yesterday, Nigerian government also put on hold the 2020 Edo National Sports Festival as part of proactive measures to safeguard citizens. In tennis, the French Tennis Federation FFT on Tuesday said the clear-cut Grand Slam at Roland Garros will now take place from September 20 to October 4 dates that clash with several other events. With players already counting the cost of the tennis shutdown, the decision did not go down well. Canadian world number 93 Vasek Pospisil, who sits on the ATP Players Council, slammed the decision as selfish and arrogant. To cricket, the Indian Premier League has made up its mind on going the distance to conduct the 13th edition of the IPL. In the wake of coronavirus pandemic, the BBCL has suspended the league till at least 15th April as a precautionary measure, as the chances of IPL starting soon are very bleak. With Sports Brief, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
A quick reminder just before we go, our environment can be saved if we join hands together to make a clean and healthier FCT. That's the news. Thanks for being there. Do have a very lovely afternoon. Bye for now.